I want to have a serious conversation with some of you guys. I just read an article in the Washington Post about the kid who did what he did in the Appalachia high school. And he was clearly suffering from something called adverse childhood experiences, ACEs. If anyone out there is listening and you have experienced adverse childhood experiences or are currently going through ACEs, I want to speak directly to you. The reason why Bounce Back Generation was created was to help kids growing up in adversity. Now, we worked in public housing where there was a lot of violence around, there was substance abuse, and we wanted to help kids to manage that. You have to get help, outside help, in order to understand what's going on in your mind and your body and your spirit and your emotions. But I'm going to give you some information right now. First of all, what are ACEs? ACEs are abuse, neglect, household dysfunction, and neighborhood violence. Those are things that affect you from the time that you're little, that affect how your brain sees the world. It triggers your fear center. It creates conditions where your brain develops to be extremely a heightened awareness of things that are scary. It also affects your health because when you're stressed like that, your emotions, your body are reacting in ways that cause you to go in fight, flight, fear responses. Those feel extremely uncomfortable to your feelings. It feels that's where anxiety feelings come from. It makes your body go up and down and crash into, you get heightened fear and you react in it, and then your body feels like it crashes. It also affects how you see the world, that it's a cruel place, it's a terrible place, people are mean, right? And it affects you spiritually because it makes you feel like, why has the world done this to me? What kind of planet am I on where these kinds of things can happen? And when you're an innocent child, which you are, those things should not be happening to you. And that is correct. You should not be experiencing these things. So, what can you do? There are 6 things that we share with kids who are going through or have been through ACEs. The first thing is find safety and protection wherever you can, even if it's for 5 minutes every day. Find places, seek them out where you feel safe. That could be with a person, that could be a place. Enjoy that and feel it and recognize this is a place where I'm safe, or I'm safe in this classroom, or I'm safe with this friend, or I'm safe with my grandma, whatever it is. And recognize that and seek out as many times in as many places as possible. Secondly, relationships. Find people who you can trust. Now, that takes a little bit of time to know who you can trust and who you can't trust. So notice your feelings. Notice if you feel uncomfortable with somebody. Notice when you do feel comfortable with somebody. Are they caring about you or are they caring about themselves? And start to build relationships slowly and build that trust with people, that back and forth. So we call it serve and return. You say something, the person says something back to you that is supportive and kind, and recognize those things. Next is coping skills. You need to develop certain things to release some of those negative feelings that you have. So a coping skill could be that you get a lot of feelings in your body and you go out and you play a game, basketball or football or whatever, wear a helmet. And or it could be that you knit or you bake a cake or you do some drawings or you sing. Whatever it is, find things that give you peace, that make you feel peaceful inside and good, or release some of those emotions that you have. That's a coping skill. So the only rule about a coping skill should make you feel good today and even better later, even better tomorrow. So coping skills that, like, I'm going to go drink a bunch of beers and that'll feel good for a while. It'll feel terrible later. So that's not a good coping skill. Next is confidence building. Recognize your talents. Every day, recognize something that you did that had a positive effect for you. You did that drawing, maybe it wasn't the drawing that you wanted to do, but you got out your coloring stuff and you made that drawing. Or you took your driver's test and you passed it. Or you got a B instead of what you thought you'd get, which was a D or a C, right? Recognize the points where you do well and keep recognizing that, and dim the voices inside that say, I'm not good enough. And make the little things that you do that are good, make them huge, and make the things that you're not good at tiny. The next is belonging. You need to find places where you feel like you belong. Your LGBTQ club, or your drama club, or your friend group, or the online gaming place that you play on, as long as people are, kind to each other. Find a place where you belong, where people would miss you if you weren't there, because you're important and you deserve to have that. And finally is storytelling. As you build those relationships, as you gain some confidence, find places and people you can talk to about what's happening with you, because you should never feel trapped in the ACEs that you're experiencing. And there are people that are waiting to help you. That's their job. That's what they want to do. Go and find the helpers. That's what Mr. Rogers, who some of you may not know who that is. Mr. Rogers was a famous TV guy on PBS who did children's shows. And he always said, when you're in trouble, find the helpers.
Always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers, even just on the sidelines. Because if you look for the helpers, you'll know that there's hope.
And there are lots of people there to help. I'm going to put in the description, or you can just go to our website, bbgtv.org/resources. And there we have resources of phone lines and websites that you can go to start finding out what you can do to help yourself. I know this is hard. Children are not responsible for their mental health. It's not your role. It's for adults to care for you. We just want to reach out and make sure that you hear these messages and you start to get help. No child should go through adverse childhood experiences. All right.